May I introduce our new speaker, Shri Jaiprakashji Kabra. So he is a BSc MLS LLB. Okay. He's a faculty for various management institutes and around Mumbai for human resource management, and he has conducted over 4,300 programs for public and private sector companies in the areas of management skills, positive attitude, job happiness, work ethics, work culture, communication, and lot things to come. He has been a national champion for debates, allocation, and seminars. Won around 125 individual and team prizes at national level events, and he has worked for 4.5 months with the social worker Dr. Baba Amte. He was honorary rector for boys hostel at Mulund, Mumbai as well. And he has won the best faculty award from Larsen and Toubro Active Rotarian for the last 30 years. He has conducted governance schooling for Lions International and Puppets for Rotary International as well. He is a HR advisor, HR consultant to Lakshmi. Okay, I'm sorry. So over to you, sir.
अच्छा, रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए जरूरी है, नहीं तो अदरवाइज आई डोंट नीड. इनफैक्ट लोग मुझे कहते हैं कि यू हैव टू रिड्यूस योर वॉल्यूम. इसको इधर भी डालेंगे, कुछ खास है नहीं, एचआर का आदमी हूँ, पैसे तो रहते नहीं. आपने कहा ना चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को कम मिलते हैं. इसको साथियों नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग वंस अगेन. एंड सिंस आई एम कनेक्टेड विथ ISKCON, इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी फॉर कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, दंडवत एंड हरिबोल. हरिबोल. Well, I was listening very carefully to what Mr. Bhandari had to say. He was talking of technology. I don't understand technology at all. I understand only people who make that technology possible. Out of all the factors of management, which is the toughest of tough factor to handle? People. Why? Why you think the people are? You can't standardize them. Okay, then they have different mindsets, different culture, different value system, different likes and dislikes, lifestyle, value system, everything is different. They say two thumb impressions do not match. Two retinal images do not match. Imagine God has created 780 crore designs. Artificial से artificial intelligence. 780 crore. That is the reason when your Aadhaar card is made, your picture of eyes is taken and the thumb impressions are taken. If two thumb impressions do not match, how are we going to match the people? You know, people have emotions. People get angry. People get happy. People get dejected. People get rejected. People get disappointed. Whatever can happen. 144 feelings. Machines, have you ever seen computer getting angry? Or GPS you have put it. Even if you have not followed the instructions, does it get angry? You idiot, you are not following my instructions. What it does? Very simply reroutes. But whereas the people are different. And therefore, for handling people is going to be the most important area of what we are going to discuss. And that requires deep understanding of human knowledge, human psychology. What we are talking about is a human psychology. All of us, we want to be successful, whichever area you are. And let me tell you, on the 2nd of May, I was in Guwahati and had opportunity to meet one gentleman called Montu Das. You know what is the specialty of this gentleman? This gentleman is doing his PhD at the age of 100. At the age of 100, he is doing PhD. He is a retired judge. He retired 36 years back. He was a professor of law. He was a advocate. He was a chartered accountant, and finally he retired as a judge. And now he wants to study the human behavior and doing PhD. There is a lady in Mumbai, Mrs. Shah. You know her story? Her story, she lost her son because of cancer. She lost her husband because of cancer. She herself is a cancer patient. And at the age of 78, University of Mumbai confers on her PhD degree for her studies in Vedanta. So, for learning there is no limit, age limit. You can learn at any age and you can learn from anybody and everybody. Would you agree? Would you agree? You can learn. And our Indian culture is so good. In fact, consider this very concept of Dronalaya, Guru Dronacharya. Arjun was lucky because Dronacharya taught him. Eklavya was not lucky because Dronacharya refused to teach him. But did he give up? अब मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, मेरे को गुरुजी ने मना कर दिया. बोला? What he did? He made the image, statue of Dronacharya, used to worship every day and then practice. And what happened? He became super duper archer than even Arjuna. You know that story? When they were passing through, some dog came barking and Guruji told him, hey, just do the needful in the matter. So please take out your bow and arrow and shoot this fellow, this dog. Before he could take out arrow from the bow, sat. The dog was not killed, but its mouth was wide open. He said, who is this? I am this fellow, come sir, I am your disciple. He said, when did I teach you? He said, sir, I will show you. He showed him his image. And he said, all right, you accept me as a teacher, na? So then I want Guru Dakshina. And what did he take in Guru Dakshina? The fellow did not think even for a second. Smashed it and gave it. Because Dronacharya had given boom to Arjuna that you will be the best archer in the world. Just to maintain his words, Guruji did this. And Ekalavya, without thinking even for a minute, he obliged. So, you have Arjuna, you have a Ekalavya, and the best archer in the world is here sitting right in front of me. What's your name? Manoj. You say, how come? Now the bow and arrow has gone. Dhanushya baan ko waise bhi कीमत कम हो गई. In all the senses. Quote unquote. So, now what has come? The dart game has come. Dart, you know that dart game? So, you just hit. And then there are circles. And if you hit in the center circle, what happens? You score 100 out of 100. So, entire hostel building, wherever the circles were there, iska dot kahan? Center. Everybody got confused. Great archer, yaar. He said, मेरा हिसाब अलग है. पहले मैं बाण मारता है, सर्कल बाद में निकालता है. जहां हम खड़े होते हैं, लाइन वहां से शुरू होती है. Leave the humor apart, but the point, ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to make is understand human behavior. Never give up. Never ever give up. Look at life positively. Do you think the life is so bad? Life is not so bad. Life is good. You know, life is good. And let me start. How many of you don't understand Marathi? Please raise your hand. Don't understand. And how long you are here in Maharashtra? No, but how long you are here, staying here in Maharashtra? 4 days. Okay. Then I'll give him 4 years. 4 years to pick up Marathi. And if he doesn't pick up the Marathi, his name will be reported in 3 bungalows. Matoshri, Krishna Kunj and Shiv Tirth. Choice is yours. Choice is yours. But point is, whichever field you are, when you are interacting with people, you must speak the language people understand. So, it doesn't matter, just to leave the humor apart, I will recite this poem and give you the running translation in English. Is that alright? Let me start with this poem. This poem is by late Mangesh Padgaonkar. What does he say? सांगा कसं जगायचं, कणत कणत क गाणं म्हणत तुम्हीच ठरवा सांगा कसं जगायचं. डोळे भरून तुमची आठवण कुणीतरी काढतच ना, ऊन 2 घास तुमच्यासाठी वाढतच ना. दुआ देत असायचं का शाप देत बसायचं, मित्रांनो तुम्हीच ठरवा सांगा कसं जगायचं. थांबा, घाई पूर्ण वाटलंच मला. 4 कडवे 4. पेशन्स इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट क्वालिटी विच यू मस्ट डेव्हलप. काळ्या कुट्ट काळोखात जेव्हा काही दिसत नसतं, दिवा घेऊन तुमच्यासाठी कुणीतरी उभं असतं. प्रकाशात उडायचं का काळोखात कुडायचं, मित्रांनो तुम्हीच ठरवा सांगा कसं जगायचं. आयुष्याची वाट चालताना पायात काटे रुततात हे अगदी खरं असतं, आणि फुलं फुलून येतात हे काही खरं नसतं. फुलाप्रमाणे फुलायचं का काट्याप्रमाणे चलायचं? मित्रांनो, तुम्हीच ठरवा, सांगा कसं जगायचं. आणि शेवटचं कडवं, पेला अर्धा भरला आहे असं म्हणता येतं आणि तोच पेला अर्धा सरला आहे असं सुद्धा म्हणता येतं. सरला आहे म्हणायचं का भरलाय म्हणायचं? मित्रांनो, तुम्हीच ठरवा, सांगा कसं जगायचं. कणत कणत का गाणं म्हणत, तुम्हीच ठरवा, सांगा कसं. आता टाळ्या वाज. सगळे घाबरले, म्हणून नाही परतून आणि आपल्याला गप केला तर काय घ्या. So the point is, the poet is saying the life is not so bad. When you go home, your mother, your bhabhi, somebody is waiting. Even if you reach at 10 o'clock, your mother will say, "Beta, हाथ मुंह धोले, तब तक के लिए मैं खाना गर्म करती हूँ." Is it something which is good or is it something which is bad and for which you will be cursing the God? Choice is yours, because ultimately you are the architect of your own destiny. Number two, admittedly true, life is full of darkness. But somebody is waiting for you like a lighthouse. You know the lighthouse? Which is put on the jetty. So the ships which are lost the way, they look at that particular light and they know that there is a seashore there and they can head. Now the choice is yours whether you would be looking at that ray of hope or you will turn around and say life is full of darkness. Choice is yours, because ultimately life is yours. Admittedly true that there have been, the life is full of difficulties and thorns. But just don't give up, my dear friends, because occasionally some flowers of happiness also bloom. The choice is whether you are going to collect the flowers of happiness or you are going to collect only thorn and displeasure, is your choice. And finally he says the glass can be called as half empty, the same glass can be called as half full. It is your choice whether you would treat the glass as a half empty or a half full and act accordingly. So how should be the life? 4 important principles I would like to tell you. So look at the life positively. In that, these ladies are very good. What happens is, suppose husband and wife, they fight. Every husband and wife, they fight, without exception. Okay? So when the fight takes place, what do? Ladies, they take out the album of marriage. और अपने पति के फोटो के पास देख के बोलती है, क्या कौन होता स तू, काय झाला स तू, अरे वेड्या कसा वाया गेला स तू, क्या थे क्या बन गए और मुझे कहां लाके पटक दिया, पहले क्या क्या सपने दिखाए थे. It happened. So what she is doing? In fact, this is science in it. The science says, when you feel that you are a little down, go through the past moment which were very happy moment, then this moment which are not very happy, these moments you will be able to serve them better and tolerate them better. That's the science behind it. So look at the life positively. Some people look at the life only negatively. They see only negative. ये आप लोग होते हैं ना चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, आप लोग ऑडिट करते हैं तो टिक मार के उल्टा करते हैं. एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को मैंने पूछा क्यों उल्टा करता है, बोले साहब हमारा दिमाग क्यों उल्टा चलता है. बोला नो, आई नो द साइंटिफिक रीजन. The point is don't look at the life negatively. Therefore, there are always positivity in the life, and so long as you maintain your positivity, I can tell you nothing can happen wrong with you. You will come up. And as Mr. Bandari was talking, he was talking that you have to have knowledge, and at the same time, what I am going to talk to you is you have to have a correct attitude. Whenever I am a HR person, I must have had thousands and thousands of candidates. Whenever we hire a person, we hire him or her for skill and knowledge. But whenever the fellow is fired man, GPL, Parshva Prashtavar Lat. Don't ask for full form. Generally the fellow is fired not because skill and knowledge was in short supply, but because of bad attitude. So what is the most important driving force? And please remember, skill and knowledge can be taught. Attitudes cannot be taught, they have to be caught. They have to be caught. They cannot be taught. Skill, accounting is a skill. Communication is a skill. Presentation is a skill. Time management is a skill. Knowledge, artificial intelligence, what sir was talking about, is a knowledge. International intellectual property rights is a knowledge. Law related to IPR, labor law is a knowledge. ISO 9000 is a knowledge. You can acquire it. And today you have everything available on Google. Just Google it and thousands of the options will be available. But where is the attitude? So what you must have? Attitude. And the whole day, this session and the next session, will be talking only about attitude, and attitude. That is a soft skill. What I call it as a soft skill. So I am basically a soft skill trainer with 250 corporate clients to my credit. Larsen and Toubro being the biggest, with 1400 full day workshops only for Larsen and Toubro. And 5,017th program is today's program. Today's program in last 25 years. So anyway, so we will continue to that. Now each one of you will tell me, if you want to be successful, what is required in the life. See, we will follow the principle. Everybody will speak only if his or her turn comes. Nobody can copy the idea. Because all intellectual property rights, copyright has been taken. You know that patent, what is that called as? Patent. And therefore everybody has to give me idea, including those observers. मैं किसी को छोड़ता नहीं. Okay, no idea can be repeated. Nobody will speak in between. You have to wait for your turn, and suppose you feel very scared. Oh my God, the idea has come to my mind, but before my turn comes, if it comes to somebody else's mind, that is so bad for you. I can't help it. You have to think of some other idea. Got it? All right. So let us start. Yes. Right mindset. Is there anything, something to write? Or, oh yes. No, how can we write on this? Technology. Whiteboard is there? All right. Yes. See the technology. But only thing is, it is not available when you need it most. जाने दो, कोई बात नहीं है. अच्छा, you have to write with what? With the pen, na? Okay. Oh yes. So what you said? एक ही चलता क्यों नहीं है? इसका भी माइंडसेट ठीक नहीं है. आता है कभी, थोड़ी देर के बाद आता है. That this also shows that you have to have patience. All right. So right mindset. Come on. First, tell me your name, and then what's your name? Yash Mohta. Right mindset. Bolo. Happiness. Happiness. How does the happiness come? छोड़ो, तू लिख रहे. तेरे को काम देता हूँ. All right. नहीं नहीं, सिर्फ only point. हाँ. Happiness. वो कुछ स्टार्ट ही नहीं हुआ है. ओके. सो अभी क्या करना पड़ेगा मुझे? अभी लिखूं? हाँ, क्या बात है. हैप्पीनेस, राइट माइंडसेट. Okay, therefore name of my company is Mind Movers. I move the minds. Of course, it has disadvantage also. I got so many queries. Sir, I have been transferred from Pune to Bombay. Would you move my luggage? I said, I don't, unfortunately. I only move the mind. Because they confuse with movers and packers. Bolo. Enjoy every moment of life. Enjoyment. Come on, next. नाम बोलो ना. मनोज बजाज. Courage. Yes. Come on, next. Shubham. Excitement. You should be excited of whatever you are doing. Excitement. Patience. ये तो मैं ही बोला था, तुम क्या बोला नया? Patience. लेकिन होशियार है. Consistency. Very important. Consistency. Come on. Next. Courage आ गया. No, nothing can be repeated. अभी सब लोगों को टेंशन आ गया. Peace of mind, or mind in pieces. Peace. Optimism, die-hard optimism. It is not ordinary optimism, but it is called as a die-hard optimism. Come on. Next, beta. Yes. Faith in whom? Very important. Faith first, faith in self. Faith. Come on. Yes. Focus, being focused. Burning desire, not only simple desire, it has to be burning desire. Very good. Next, अपने आप ही ले लो. हाँ? वरुण नोकजा, अभी देखा इतना होशियार है, इधर जा रहा था तो उसने पहले ले लिया। बोलो। स्टेबल सबकॉन्शियस माइंड, बाप रे, व्हाट डज दैट मीन? गॉड आल्सो डजंट नो। स्टेबल सबकॉन्शियस माइंड, ऑलराइट, कम ऑन। ये लड़की बाकी है, बेटा बोलो, कुछ भी बोलना तो पड़ेगा। देयर इज नथिंग लाइक पास। If the moment I say the pass, then what will happen? Everybody will be pass, and I will be the only fellow who is not pass. Power, yes, power. Okay, you have to have power, and in today's world, artificial intelligence, knowledge is the power. Okay, caliber. You have to have a caliber. All right, caliber. Next, चलो ठीक है, हाँ चलो ठीक है, बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट इज गिवन। चलो, क्लैरिटी, क्लैरिटी, यू मस्ट हैव क्लैरिटी, नो एम्बिग्विटी, यू हैव टू हैव अ क्लैरिटी। कम ऑन, ये लड़का भी, हाँ, कम ऑन, नो टॉकिंग। फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड, यू हैव टू थिंक ऑफ फ्यूचर, यू हैव टू थिंक ऑफ फ्यूचर, या पॉजिटिविटी, loyalty. All right, let us see. चलो ठीक है, anyway the rule you have done, you know, the hell with the rule, you already said that. Come on. Yeah, honesty, you have to be honest, so your integrity has to be unquestionable. बोलो next. Yes, हाँ बोलो। Okay, hard work combined with smart work. Okay. Okay, hard work and smart work. Huh? Anti-fragile. What does that mean? You have to be strong. Hold. Dedication, 101% dedication. Samarpan. Yes. Idhar. हाँ. Teamwork. The most important is the teamwork. Teamwork, come on. इधर से। Determination, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। Determination. हो गया ना एटीट्यूड? हो गया एटीट्यूड। एटीट्यूड आ गया यार। कमिटमेंट, 101% कमिटमेंट। नहीं आया शायद, चलो ठीक है, नेक्स्ट बेटा। हाँ, आप हाँ, acceptance, accept what you cannot change and change what you can. I think whatever is the most important thing here, I would like to ask you people to wait for a minute. There is a beautiful prayer which is called serenity prayer. It says, God give me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, but courage and strength to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. That's all. हे भगवान, जिस परिस्थिति को मैं नहीं बदल सकता, उसे स्वीकारने के लिए आवश्यक मन की प्रसन्नता मुझे दो। जिस परिस्थिति को मैं बदल सकता हूं या बदल सकती हूं, उसे बदलने का धैर्य और ताकत मुझे दो, और ये दोनों का फर्क समझने का ज्ञान मुझे दो। If you master this one sentence, everything is possible. There are certain things which you cannot change. You cannot change. What are the things you cannot change? If I am permitted to ask, parents, you cannot change. You had no option. Which country to take a birth? Which parents you have to take a birth? It's not in your hand. Blood group, can you change? What is your blood group, Manoj? O positive. उसने बोला नहीं, मेरे को B positive चाहिए, क्योंकि पॉजिटिविटी पर है ना। डाल दिया 30 ml। क्या होगा इधर? सूचना, हमारे प्रिय मनोज, आप लोग खुश, उतने जल्दी एक पॉइंट अपने को जल्दी बोलने को आएगा। Come on. But what are the things you can change? Can you not change your attitude? Can you not change the way you look at the things? Can you not improve your communication skill? Can you not acquire new knowledge? Yes. So where should you be concentrating on? The things which you can change or the things which you cannot change? I give my own example. External color, you cannot change beyond a point. Look at me. Guaranteed. Color gaya, paisa wapas. 90% of the time, if I go and stand in front of the crowd and ask them to imagine which part of country I could be from, they get thoroughly confused. They put me to South, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Kerala. Now that hairs, they have gone to very thin. They have put me to South Africa. When I start talking to them in Marathi, they take a bet I must be from Pune. But then I have to tell them I am from Rajasthan. They say impossible. Impossible. I said, I know which place I come from better than you. Na? और इसके लिए मराठी में कहावत है दिसतं तसं नसतं म्हणूनच जग फसतं. Don't carry the impression in the first place. So I cannot change. I have to accept it. Now there are two methods. Accept smilingly, accept grudgingly. Which is better? Now you might ask me question, how do I accept it smilingly? I have developed my own mechanism. Unfortunately, there is nobody here whom I can compare with about at least this color. So I compare with myself. Look at the gods. 90% of the gods, 95% of the gods are matching in my color. Hardly 2-3% in his color. प्रभु श्री रामचंद्र काला, भगवान श्री कृष्ण काला, तिरुपति का बालाजी काला, केरल का अयप्पा काला, जगन्नाथपुरी का जगदीश काला, हम माहेश्वरियों का भगवान महेश काला और पंढरपूरचा पांडुरंग. चॉइस तो है नहीं. There is a friend of mine, sir, only 25 age, clean, check, not a single fellow left. Unmarried, used to come and cry with me. अरे यार काबरा जी भगवान ने क्या लोचा कर दिया, अब कौन सी लड़की मेरे से शादी करेगी. I gave him a beautiful English sentence to read. Thereafter he never cried. The sentence read, God has created few perfect heads. The imperfect ones are covered with hair. अरे बाबा तेरा तो शोकेस में रखने लायक है रे भाई. इधर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट है ना, तो इसको छिपाने के लिए तो भगवान को जक मार के बाल उगाना पड़ेगा. So the thing which you cannot change, better accept it. But the thing which you can change, improve upon it. And what happens is, all of us, we do exactly ulta. We spend more time on the things which you cannot change, and we spend very little time on the things which you can change. Second related logical question which I would like to ask you is which is easy, changing self or changing others? Self. You cannot change others unless you have changed yourself. Would you agree? And this beautiful lesson I have learned from Hindi cinema Sholay. A lot of management in Sholay. Asrani. Who is he? He is a jailer. I am reproducing his dialogues verbatim so that to make a point clear, हम अंग्रेज के जमाने के जेलर हैं. आजकल हमारी बातों को पसंद नहीं किया जाता, इसलिए हमारी हर जगह से बदली की जाती है. लेकिन इतनी बदलियों के बावजूद हम नहीं बदले. और जब हम ही नहीं बदले तो तुम क्या बदल सकते हो? So who has to change first? Self. See, your behavior with me will not depend as much on you as much it would depend on me. अगर मैंने आपको इज्जत दिया, मान दिया, सम्मान दिया, प्यार दिया, मोहब्बत दिया, रिस्पेक्ट दिया, लव दिया, what I'm going to get in return? Same thing. और अगर मैंने आपको 2 गाली दिया, कितनी गाली मिलेगी? 4, 6. रेट ऑफ ये मारवाड़ी है, ऑडिट का आदमी, कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट है, बैंकिंग एंड फाइनेंस में जा सकता है. Alright. So the point is, so do you sow, so do you reap. बोया पेड़ बबूल का आम कहां से खाए? So ultimately you can change yourself, and the way you change at yourself, there is a 90% guarantee that the people, they will change their behavior with you. And let me tell you, it is my honest belief, every human being is a good unless proved otherwise. But most of us, we feel every human being is a crook unless proved otherwise. And either way you are right. Either way you are right. If you call them crook, they won't disappoint you, they will be crook to you. And if you ask them, they are the good people, they will be good people. So the point is, don't try to change others unless you have changed yourself. Simple example, just don't take it otherwise. मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, आपकी शादी होती है, बीवी घर में आती है, पहले दिन भीष्म प्रतिज्ञा, 50 दिन में बुड्ढी को बदल डालेगी. अब बुड्ढी क्या कम खतरनाक है? वो क्या बोलती, पिछले 50 साल में मैं मेरे को नहीं बदली, तू मेरे को 50 दिन में बदल. Nothing happens. Ultimately, both of them will continue to fight without any result. Therefore, unless you change, you cannot. And therefore, the relationship is called as give and take. It is never called as take and give. जो दिल देना जानता है उसे लेने का अधिकार प्राप्त होता है. बाइबल का वाक्य, the heart which gives in abundance receives in plenty. So what do you have to give? You have to give on giving. Giving. All of us, we are here because somebody gave this building. How does it come? Some like-minded people came together, they formed this institution. I am also part of this. I was also a receiver. I am a recipient of scholarship from this, our very Vidya Pracharak Mandal. So I owe a lot to this institution. This is my august institution. The heart which gives in abundance receives in plenty. And the kind of happiness what you are going to get, the fellow whom you give, he will be happy. But the fellow who gives is double the happy. And therefore go on giving. And therefore in Marathi, Vinda Karadikar says, देणाऱ्याने देत जावे, घेणाऱ्याने घेत जावे, घेणाऱ्याने घेता घेता देणाऱ्याचे हात घ्यावे. So go on giving. Nothing you will lose. What can you give? You can give your time to the institution. You can give your talent to the institution. And if all of us we are fortunate enough, because we also have a good treasury with us. Treasury means money. So if you can give all 3T, nothing like that. If you can give 2, give that. If you cannot give 2, at least give 1. But go on giving. And enjoy. And enjoy. So the third important point which I would like to tell you, never talk of your problems to every Tom, Dick and Harry you come across. some लोगों को आदत होती, किधर भी जाएंगे रोएंगे. ऐसे लोगों को हमारे बंबई की भाषा में पनौती बोलते, इधर क्या बोलते मालूम नहीं? पनौती वही बोलते हैं ना. बोले यार ये दिख गया ना सवेरे सवेरे, उसका तो 2 मिनट गया, आपका पूरा दिन सत्यानाश. So let's imagine, just because you are sitting right in front of me, your name will come. बोला यार मैंने क्या पाप किया, सेकंड सेशन में उधर कोने में. मनोज रिक्शा में बैठा उधर जाके रोया, क्या बोलूं यार वो साला मेरा आर्टिकल पूरा होता नहीं, वो आर्टिकल वाला मेरा कन्वेंस बिल रोक के रखा है, ये हुआ प्रॉब्लम, वो हॉस्टल में मेरे को एडमिशन मिलता नहीं, लाहौटी सर ने मेरे को कंसेशन नहीं दिया. अब वो रिक्शा वाला क्या करेगा? ज्यादा रोया रिक्शा साइड में लेगा, चल उतर 25 रुपए मीटर 20 ही दे लेकिन भाग. और नेक्स्ट टाइम मनोज इधर रिक्शा वाला उधर ही कल्टी मरेगा, खाली जाएगा, लेकिन ये भाड़ा मैं लेके. माणसाने दुःखाचा बाजार कधीही मांडायचा नसतो, या बाजारात एकही गिराईक येत नाही. फुकट भी दिया तो कोई आएगा ना. Therefore talk about your problem, agonies, worries, etc. to only those who are concerned about you and about whom you are concerned. What happens? We don't talk, more particularly about males. We males do not share. And therefore, what happens? Who gets more number of heart attack? Is it a male? Is it a female? मैंने एक लड़के को पूछा, 25 साल का, शादी नहीं हुई थी, बोला उसको पूछा मैंने, तेरे को क्या लगता है लड़की लोग को हार्ट अटैक क्यों नहीं आता? बोले साहब उनको कहां से आएगा, उनके कारण तो मेरे को आता है. ती पाहताच बाला कलिजा खलास झाला, संगीत कट्यार काळजात घुसली. मैंने कहा उनके पास मैकेनिज्म है, वी डोंट हैव मैकेनिज्म. लेट्स इमेजिन घर के अंदर आपने देखा होगा, अगर मम्मी को गुस्सा है तो क्या करेगी? 4 बर्तन फेंक देगी, 2 कप सर तोड़ डालेगी. ऑफिस में अगर कोई महिला कर्मचारी है और अगर आपने उसको डांट दिया तो उसके कमरे के बाहर आके उसके नाम से उंगलियां मोडती है. मेला मुर्दा मला असा म्हणाला, सत्यानाश होणार, वाटोळ होणार, उचल 4 माणसं नाही मिळणार, सोडून किडे पडून मरणार, सोडून मारणार. और ज्यादा हुआ तो मुड़ा मुठा. अब पूना में तो मुड़ा मुठा ही रहेगी. अब जेंट्स इसमें से एक भी काम नहीं कर सकते. अतुल भाई साहब बर्तन खुद को ही लाने का, काय को फेंकेंगे? कब सासर तोड़ेंगे नहीं, बड़बड़ करेंगे नहीं, और रोने का तो नाम ही पैदा नहीं होता, क्योंकि बचपन से अपने ऊपर संस्कार है, तू मर्द है और मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता. क्या डायलॉग है? सो द पॉइंट इज, डू शेयर योर फीलिंग at appropriate time with appropriate person. And that reminds me of a beautiful sentence by Henry Ford. He said once, getting angry is easy. All of us we get angry. All of us we get angry. Anybody who doesn't get angry, kindly raise your hands. All of us we get angry. But getting angry with right person, at right time, in right manner and for right purpose is extremely difficult. उचित समय पर, उचित कारण से, उचित तरीके से, उचित व्यक्ति पर गुस्सा करना एक कला है. महात्मा गांधी got angry when he was thrown out from the train compartment in South Africa. You must have read. इधर मनोज रहता तो क्या करता? पत्थर उठा के सर तोड़ डाल. The British would have pulled the chain, and the train would have stopped. The police would have been called, and whose version would have been heard? Manoj or the Britishers? मनोज का कौन सुनेगा? सत्ता जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस. एंड देन मनोज गोइंग टू जेल एंड चक्की पीसे. महात्मा गांधी न्यू इट. And he converted anger, which is supposedly negative emotion, into positive energy, and the befitting reply he gave. Very important to note what reply he gave. He said, all right, today you have pushed me out of train, tomorrow I'll push you people out of my country. Today I only push me out of train, but tomorrow I'll push you people from my country. And Mahatma Gandhi jumped into freedom movement. So this country should be thankful not to Mahatma Gandhi, but to that Britisher who threw him out. Had he not thrown out, somewhere you would have seen Fata Purana board, Advocate M.K. Gandhi, BLLB, High Court Vakil. So जो होता है अच्छे के लिए. Anger is not bad. Most of the people have come up in the life only because they got angry. Dhirubhai Ambani, all of you are aware. One of the odd jobs which Dhirubhai did, he was a petrol pump boy in Arbastan city called Yedan, now called Yaman. He was a petrol pump boy. Those days cars were very limited. Some fellow came with a big Cadillac. This boy filled up a petrol and out of anxiety was touching the car. This fellow took a dig at him, that car owner. Hey, you are touching the car in a manner, are you going to buy it? So there was a sarcasm. Sarcasm? मतलब ऐसा कुत्सित नजर से देख रहा. उसने कहा, नो सर, हम रहते तो क्या करते, पत्थर उठा के उसका शीशा तोड़ डालते, नौकरी हमारी जाती. He said, no, I will not buy your car, but I will make that petrol which makes your car run. I will make it one day. And from that day onwards, Dhirubhai Ambani saw the dream of being a petroleum manufacturer. And today, with the expansion complete, Reliance Petroleum with Jamnagar complex is the world's largest refinery. So did he not convert anger into positive energy? So emotions are emotions, neither they are good nor they are bad. Sadness is also emotion, can be converted into positive energy. I don't know whether you are aware, there is a gentleman called Deepak Kulkarni, and he has founded this institution called Make-A-Wish Foundation. You must have heard, you must have read it in newspaper. You see, the story is very interesting. When this Deepak Kulkarni was there, he had only one child and he lost the child because of cancer. छोटे बच्चों में ल्यूकेमिया थोड़ा ज्यादा होता है. He tried his level best. He gave the best of the best treatment. In the process, not only it was a physical problem, he became pauper as far as finances are concerned. But doctors finally gave up. He cannot survive. So please take him home and spend as much quality time as you can. Now imagine the kind of feeling this father must have gone through. The only child I cannot save. There is a frustration, a rejection, dejection. And he was looking after the child. Child one day expressed desire, Daddy, I want to fly one day. Fly matlab? He had no money. But he did not say to the child. Child was only 5 years old. He said, "Theek hai, let me organize the ticket." He went out, collected, borrowed some money from his friends, bought a ticket for himself and for the child, because child cannot be left alone. By the time he reached home, child was no more. Imagine the kind of sadness the father must have felt. I could not fulfill the last dying desire of my only child. Anybody would have collapsed simply. He said there could be thousands and thousands of parents who are unable to fulfill the dying desire of their child. Can I do something for them? And this institution was born, Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now these children, they work only for children. They have their desires which are funny. One day one child told, I want to drive BST bus. आपका PMT है ना, हमारे पास BST होता है. अब कहाँ से देंगे उसको? These people went to that BST जनरल. He said, no problem. ड्राइवर को बोला, एक बच्चे को गोदी में ले. कंट्रोल किसके हाथ में है? ड्राइवर के हाथ में. बच्चा वो स्टीयरिंग घुमा रहा है. And you should have seen the spark in that little eyes. There is another fellow who said, I want to meet Amitabh Bachchan. Can you believe Amitabh Bachchan cancelled the entire day shooting and spent the entire day with that child? Somebody said, again we want to fly. Naresh Goyal, that time Jet Airways. He gave the entire plane. घुमा के लाओ बोले बच्चों को. And one, I don't know how many of you have seen it or at least heard of it. Atul bhai must have seen it. And he said, I want to become police commissioner. हैदराबाद का बच्चा. अरे यार अभी कहाँ से करेंगे? गए उसके पास हाथ जोड़े. look at the magnanimity of the heart of that police commissioner. He said, Dan, with his own money, he stitched the dress, replica of police commissioner's dress. On police commissioner's chair, that boy is sitting. Police commissioner is sitting in front of him. Media was called. Press conference was organized, electronic and print media. And the people asked him, sir, today now that you are police commissioner, what is the first thing you would like to do? And the boy said, I would like to put all the rowdies behind bar. And you should have seen the spark. His photograph had appeared in the newspaper. Unfortunately, next day child died. But the point is, at least you will get a satisfaction that you have converted, you have fulfilled his last desire. So please remember, in a life you will get up and down. Your life is like your ECG. ECG, you know? Electrocardiogram. What happens? ऐसा ऐसा होता है ना, प्लेन लाइन आया तो बोले चलो पुढच्या तयारीला लागा, फिनिश. So never give up. Try till end. Try till end. And once you do that particular desire you have, I think you will come up in the life. And therefore, and the most important, the last fourth point which I would like to tell you, of course we'll continue hereafter, that is $1 million smile. Your dress code is not complete unless you put a big smile on it. You have put 20,000 rupees worth suit, लेकिन चेहरे पर 12 बजे हुए. You know, some people. Last time I was like, and you have put 20,000 rupees worth sari and the face is again sullen. No use. See, in English it is said, he came, he saw and he conquered. तो आला, त्याने पाहिलं आणि त्याने जग जिंकलं. So the point is, first impression is the last impression and you do not get a second chance to create the first impression. Am I making sense? And therefore, dress well, address well. Very important. Simple example I would like to give you. Britishers left this country almost how many years back? 75 years back. But before they left our country, they have left a small piece of cloth for us. इधर लगाते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? टाई. उसको मैं बोलता हूँ कंठ लंगोट. क्या बोलने का? कंठ लंगोट. The day you put the suit and tie, look at the confidence. And let's imagine you are in a marketing. You are marketing financial products, HDFC or whatever, ICICI, etc., etc. You are not shaved for 15 days. Your बाल ऐसे लालू जैसे बिखरे हुए हैं, आधा in आधा out, और पैर में स्लीपर, and you go to, sir, we have come with some very beautiful products. Would you like to buy? पहले हो बाहर, चल. पहले क्या करेंगे आपको? बाहर का रास्ता दिखाया जाएगा. So the point is, you have to therefore, please remember, people say that there is a limitation to physical, but whatever package God has sent you in, उसको तो maintain कर. Therefore, you have to always smart. So whenever you are in a official attire, it has to be smart attire. You cannot be in these jeans and oh, ये तो भी आज ठीक है, नहीं तो आधे तो फटे रहते इधर. What kind of a stupidity is this? This will not be accepted. In a corporate world, it will not be accepted. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you shake hand, everything depends. Everything depends. Some people, shake hand भी उनको करने को नहीं आता बराबर. जरा आप तीनों इधर आइए, खड़े होइए. कोई भी तीन, आजा आजा, फास्ट. तुमको छोड़ूंगा नहीं, मैं सबको इन्वॉल्व करता हूँ. मारवाड़ी आदमी हूँ, छोड़ने का किसी को नहीं. All right, I am going to have a shake hand with you. You don't know. You be natural. क्योंकि इसको मैंने एक बार पूछा, तू अकेला है और पीछे से शेर आएगा तो तू क्या करेगा? बोला मेरे को क्या कर ले, जो कुछ कर ले शेर. I have no choice. You know? So I am going to have a handshake. So be normal. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And good afternoon. Which one you would like? First, second, third. Third. What did you see? Warmth. In the first, what did you see? Did you see any confidence in me? ये क्या बोलेगा? छोकरी है कि तू छोकरी तेरे से आता अच्छा मिल जाए. लो बार. और ये कोपऱ्यापासून नमस्कार. Because I almost crushed his hand, but unfortunately I got a better person than me. और ये respect for me, respect for him. So when you deal with the people, never compromise with yourself. esteem, but at the same time, don't underestimate or overestimate the others. उसको भी उसकी भी इज्जत रखना है. Have you heard the word assertiveness? Assertiveness. Anybody can define assertiveness for me? Come on. We say he's assertive, he's not assertive. What does it mean? What does that mean? Come on, tell me. Bolo. He tells his point clearly. Come on. What else? Balance between positive and negative. Neutral, you mean to say. No, that's unfortunately not. Approachable, all right. Articulate, yes, you are coming close to the point. He is listening to your point of view, but also tells his point of view clearly. All right, you are coming very close to that. Come on, anybody else? Understanding others. He has a natural tendency to understand others. Very good. Making his point very clear without... See, I'll give a simple two-line definition, which you will never find in any of the book. The definition is very simple. Ability to be in perfect harmony with your self-esteem without hurting others. If you want, you can make a note. Ability to be in perfect harmony. Ability to be in perfect harmony with your self-esteem without hurting others. अपने स्वाभिमान के साथ कोई समझौता किए बगैर अपने मन की भावना स्पष्ट रूप से कह पाने की कला. I'll repeat. Ability to be in perfect harmony with your self-esteem without hurting others. And please underline the word without hurting others. If you hurt, invariably, you are no more assertive. You have become aggressive. You have become aggressive. Now, let me ask you a second question. Do you think the assertiveness is a good quality or a bad quality? Good quality. But all the time assertiveness can work? No. Depends on situation. Depends on situation. Suppose ये इसको उधर कारगिल बॉर्डर में भेजा और इमोशनल अपील, मेरे पारे पाकिस्तानी भाइयों, हम दोनों एक ही माँ की संतान हैं, फिर हम क्यों झगड़े, आइए गले मिलते. You will be shot. So there you have to shoot before you are shot. There you have to become aggressive. There you have to become aggressive. Depending on situation, you have to become aggressive. Sometimes you have to become submissive also. तू बड़ा, तेरा खानदान बड़ा, मैं छोटे बाप का. कभी कभी जरूरत पड़ने पर गधे को भी बाप बनाना पड़ता है, तो बनाओ नहीं. But not all the time. Sometimes it is required. Sometimes you have to be submissive. I asked the fellow, he said, sir, when I have a difference of opinion with my friend, I don't give up my point. But when I have difference of opinion with my wife, I don't carry my point any longer. घर में रहना है, जाऊं कहां बोले. The point is, it is important depending on situation you have to take. You have to fight or flight. If you cannot fight, take a first flight. Bhago. Now suppose you go to some Muslim dominated area and some communal riots are going on. ये इधर जाके बुला ली. It hurts me to see what kind of a humanity we are going through. दोनों मिलके मारेंगे. There भागो. It cannot. Let me ask you, Indira Gandhi, where would you put her? Assertive, aggressive, submissive? Aggressive. Yeah, she was very assertive, she became aggressive and finally became submissive. T.N. Seshan, Chief Election Commissioner of India, ex. Of course, he died about a year back. Started as assertive, became aggressive, finally became submissive. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, no, assertive. Narendra Modi, aggressive. Right now, he is assertive, but he doesn't know when he will slip into the aggressive mode. It cannot work. Yogi Adityanath, but his body language you can see. Actions are aggressive, but he will never show anger on his face. Yes, कभी नहीं. So sometimes खैरनार हमारे पास बॉम्बे म्युनिसिपैलिटी में था, J.R. खैरनार, demolition man, highly assertive. He had a guts to demolish तुम्हारा Dawood Ibrahim का building. When 5 crore rupees bribe was offered to him, and we refused to budge, the same 5 crore were to be used to kill him. Supari. He did not budge. खुद तोड़ा. पहला. बाद में that success went into his head, started making unnecessary badbad, and the statement which he made, that time Sharad Pawar was chief minister, he said, I have against chief minister truckload of evidence. बोले निकाल, एक भी फाइल नहीं निकला. He was suspended for 6 years. I don't know how many of you are aware. आप बोलेंगे देखा साहब ईमानदारी का ये वैल्यू होता है. अरे इसका और उसका कुछ लेना देने, कौन बोला था इसको बड़बड़ करने के लिए? अरे है तो कुछ प्रूफ है तो बोलना है, फालतू में हवा. So he was suspended only because Bala Saheb Thackeray, he approached and then he was taken into the service so that his retirement benefit like provident fund and gratuity were released. Otherwise वो भी नहीं मिलता था. So the point is, depending on situation, you have to change. The best example is when a big storm comes, bigger trees get uprooted. Rajiv Gandhi, yes, he was assertive, became aggressive because he was a Kotar was there. Kotar was there. You know, Sanjay Gandhi was aggressive, certainly aggressive. Rahul Gandhi, don't know, will get confused. We have to create separate category for it. He is a confused category. So the point is, of course, I am not anti-Congress or pro-BJP or something like that. But the point is, you have to analyze the situation. You have to analyze. So when a bigger storm comes, all big trees get uprooted, but nothing happens to the grass. What it does, तूफान आ रहा है, नीचे गया, ट्याओ. अरे बनिए का मुँह है ऊपर नहीं गई, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? ये हम मराठी लोगों का प्रॉब्लम है ये. 96 हाँ 96 मॉडर्न पण वाकणार नाही तो मोडाच. अरे सिचुएशन बनिए का मुंह है ऊपर क्या नीचे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? जरूरत पड़ा निकाल के देने का. मैं समझाता हूँ, इसको समझा नहीं है, इसको समझा. दैट इज द हाईएस्ट मराठा कम्युनिटी. यू नो अपने राजस्थान में होते हैं ना वो रजपूत मूछों पे ताव देने वाले, यू नो, तो वैसे. अरे नहीं, डिपेंडिंग ऑन सिचुएशन यू हैव टू चेंज, you cannot. And those people who have refused to change, they have finished. Companies who have refused to change have finished. Premier Automobile, one of the leading automobile manufacturers. Padmini, Nokia, what happened? BlackBerry, they never changed. A simple example, in city like Bombay and Pune, we had every nook and corner Irani hotel. How many of them are there today? Khatam. They never changed. Today the entire catering business is with whom? Anna Shetty. बहुत होशियार. Udupi. They are called as Udupi because they come from that district. Udupi. आप ईरानी होटल में जो कुछ बचा, अदरवाइज इनका लोकेशन देखो, स्टेशन ना सामे, कॉर्नर ना बिल्डिंग, आ बाजू थी दरवाजा, आ बाजू थी दरवाजा, आ बाजू थी दरवाजा. They should have been making brisk of business. कुत्ता भी नहीं जाता. सेम टेबल, लकड़ी का टेबल, मार्बल का टॉप, चलेगा क्या? पानी पीने के लिए पुराना ग्लास,